All systems nominal. Five, four, three, two, one. Signal array locked in. Packet sync confirmed. Welcome all. You're connected to the Kono Top Deep Space Signal Relay.
All right, we're here. I hope you've had a great week. It's Friday again. It comes around so quick, and we're back on board the Konotop with a little bit more techno and maybe some ambient, depending on how things are going. Plan is perhaps to do some dub techno. I've come up with a little pattern to start with, and yeah, just chill a little bit. It's not going to be sort of super fast paced today. Thanks to Paul Mint for joining. You're in the chat already, nice and early, ready for all the fun. And Emo's here again. Nice to see you, Emo. Cheers. Yes, you've got points, guys. So fire away. See what you can mess up on the screen. As soon as I get my redeems list, there we go. So you got some redeems that you can play with there. I'll leave us on the chat screen for the minute, because then you can play with those and just make sure everything's working. The fire one didn't work last time, if I remember correctly. I might have to figure out why that is. But there we go. Yeah, boosters are initiated, Emo. We're on trajectory, so we'll see what happens next. I've been playing with my microphone, got a couple of other bits and pieces running on it. So if I go super reverby for more than just a minute or two, please do let me know, because that means there's something gone wrong and I've pressed the wrong button. I can't hear that unless I audition my own voice, and that gives me like this sort of feedback thing, which sounds terrible, and I can't talk if I can hear my own voice. So we'll ignore that for the minute. Right, what have you guys been up to? Leave a message in the chat with what you've been playing with. I've been really interested in some drama that's been going on the internet. It's not music related. It's video games and stuff. And I'm a terrible gamer. I really am bad at it. But there's a couple of games that I enjoy. One of those is currently on fire. I play PlanetSide 2 quite a lot, and there's a group of people that I sort of hang with who I play that with, and then I dabbled in playing Escape from Tarkov a couple of years ago. I bought the very basic starter pack, and I'm terrible at it. I'm really, really bad, because navigating in these massive maps and really sort of short time to kill on, it's a first-person shooter game. I just get annihilated all the time. Anyway, long story short, that game is on fire at the minute because the developers have done something really silly. So I was thinking about having a bit of a chat about that, because not from the gaming angle, but from the point of view of looking after customers. The developers have done some crazy things. Early home from work in the sunshine, Emo. Awesome, good. Wish we had a bit of sunshine here. Sadly, we don't. Yeah, Tarkov drama is all over the feed, the YouTube feed that I'm getting, because I've followed a few Tarkov YouTubers. So there we go. Had some updates to some softwares and stuff to sort. Got some of that done. Somewhat constructive, I guess, says Emo. Cool, that's really good. I've had a play with some of my streaming stuff. There's one or two things that are kind of handy. One or two things that are just a waste of time, but it's all fun. And as I say, I started a little techno loop, so we'll have a play with that. In fact, I will kick that off right now. So, just a bit of dubby ambience to start me off. And this is all with the usual gear. I was going to pull out the Novation KStation, but it suddenly dawned on me after I put up that text message that the power adapter for it has got damaged. So I can't really use the KStation at the minute until I get that replaced. it's a bit of a disaster on that front. But there's plenty we can do with the gear that I've got. So let me jump over and make sure that my jam camera is working properly. There we go. So I've got just a straightforward kick drum on the drums, a couple of hi-hats, and then we've got 2 patches running on the circuit. One of them is a nice set of dub chords, and then of course on the edge there's something rumbling in the background that is very heavily filtered, so I will have a play. Let me just move the mic away and we'll go for it. And leave some messages if you want to ask questions. I will happily have a go at those and we'll see where we go.
Why do so many robots live in Africa? Well, basically Botswana. Attention! Inert gas buffer full. Venting helium.
Connie's venting helium, so I'm probably sounding a bit high-pitched.
There we go. There's a starter for 10. So the redeems, unfortunately, they don't work when I'm on the jam camera visually, but you get all the sound effects. So there was some vocals from Connie. If I get her to tell a joke, she should pop down from the top of the screen if I remember correctly. So let me just check that works.
Unexpected item in the bagging area. Damn, that's an old subroutine. I'll have to purge that one.
Yeah, that's really not for a space station. But there we go. I don't know about the fire one. I can't remember whether that works. Yeah, the African Botswana number. There's a collection of jokes that she's got which probably need purging. The fire one, does that work? Let's see if the fire one works. I can't remember. No. Clearly that one doesn't. No. Okay. That's probably a good thing. Let's face it. Fire in a space station, not a good shout. Right. Yeah, dub chords are pretty ubiquitous for dub techno. And I'll show you how I've made these ones if you're interested. So let's jump over there. It's pretty straightforward, actually. So we got sawtooth waves for the two oscillators. And then, let me just play it back. Obviously, you want some delay on there. But basically, it's... let me get the right pattern. That one. It's very simple because you need the two oscillators to be like, I think it's a fifth or a seventh apart. I can't remember which. So I've got one of the controls on the circuit, which changes the pitch of oscillator 2. So, and let me turn off the delay. So. There we go. Ekmai's in the chat. Howdy all. Yeah, dub chords, very, very simple. Two oscillators, tuned slightly apart. The second oscillator a bit higher or a bit lower, depending on what you fancy. And then you have a filter with cutoff and resonance, and you control those sort of just to taste. And then just add delay, basically. Simple as that. It's not complicated stuff. And you can do that on just about any synthesizer that's got sawtooth waves and filters, any subtractive synth. But it's just such a nice sound. And if you add a little bit of like filter drive to dirty it up a little bit. And I think what I did on this one was with a random sample and hold waveform, just adjusted the pitch of the two oscillators very, very slightly to give us like an old analog kind of detuning effect. And with the envelopes, that is the shape of the ADSR envelope for the amplitude. So just a very short downward slope. And I've got a tiny bit of attack on there, but you don't need that. And then on the filter, very similarly, just a downward slope. So the filter just shuts down. So if you want dub chords, that's how I do it. There we go. And yeah, you've got some points, Jason. What else? Maybe I should have a play on the Edge today, because I've really been enjoying it. It is a fantastic bit of kit. And we'll go to there. Oh, don't need the Iridium camera today. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, the Edge has given me so...
Attention! Inert gas buffer full. Venting helium.
I don't know if we get the helium in here. Again, I need to be on... Oh, there we go. Purging helium. I don't think that works on the other
the cameras, but there we go. Helium is working. Helium is working, cool. So let's just go back to the jam camera. The Edge, super duper. I'll give a basic rundown of what I've learned on the Edge, because I know that there's a couple of people that I've been speaking to who have got it on order or are very interested in it. And I am no expert, but I can tell you some bits and pieces. I've just got to see if I can get the mic across here. So you've got, and this is very difficult to see from this angle, unfortunately. I'm so apologies for that. But basically, you've got 2 rows of potentiometers for the sequencer. The bottom row controls the velocity of each note, so that's how loud it sounds. And then the row above it controls the pitch of that note. So if I just run the sequence and turn everything else down, turn down my effects. So that's just the Edge playing at the minute. And I'll get rid of the FM. I'll turn down oscillator 2. So we've got one oscillator playing, and that is currently a triangle waveform, which is controllable by this. Change it to square or triangle. And then if I turn down the velocity of every step, you'll hear everything goes to 0. So one note on. So that's just the first note in the sequence playing. And with each of the 2 oscillators, you've got an envelope control. So you can control how the pitch is affected on each step using that. And then if I make a couple of other steps sound, you can hear that envelope control is controlling it. So you can very easily get kick drums out of this then. So that's just one oscillator giving you a kick drum on however many steps. So then you can obviously take oscillator 2, make sure the envelope's not running on that, and then turn up the volume. And suddenly you've got a melodic part and a kick drum, which is cool. Then, of course, you've got your filters. So and there's a decay controlling the whole overall output of the machine. So even with these basic controls that are just on the surface of the machine, you've got an awful lot of variety that you can create. So if I change the kick drum to a square waveform, instant dirt. And then the filter can be high pass or low pass. So you can go very thin or quite chunky sounds. Then another great thing is the FM. So if I turn the volume of oscillator 1 down, turn up oscillator 2. Now this is oscillator 1 FMing oscillator 2. So even with just the Edge alone, you can make some awesome techno. Plus you've also got a white noise oscillator or white noise generator, so you can get your hi-hats and stuff with that. So yeah, freaking awesome. And then if you combine that with effects and all that kind of stuff as well, you're onto a winner already. So, The Edge. I'm not advertising. I don't have any interest in whether you buy it or not. But for me, for techno, it's fantastic. A couple of people have sort of said how much they've enjoyed the sounds that come out of that, or the DFAM, which is obviously it's the same bit of kit. If you know the way Behringer work, they've appropriated the design. So that's the Edge. And there is a load of patch bay points on there as well, which I've not really delved into. And that's one of my next steps, is to have a go with those. So I will have a little bit more of a play and see if I can generate some improvised kind of dub. See how I go on with that. Let's jump over and I'll start. quite enjoyed that. It's a bit nicer to mess about at like, I think that's about 120 BPM on a Friday than it is to do 140 something that I was doing the last couple of weeks. So it's making it a little bit easier on the brain, which is a bit tired. Cheers, Paul. Thanks for the comment. Sounding pretty cool. And yeah, I'm sort of taking it easy today. I've been thinking quite a lot about a couple of things that sort of it's affecting me in the sense of YouTube and trying to make content for YouTube, but it's more just about creativity as a whole. And that's largely sort of this tension that you get between trying to keep going and be consistent, because YouTube seems to love consistency. You guys deserve, if I'm going to be successful to produce stuff that you like, you deserve to get regular updates, and that's what I've always wanted to put out. But equally, there's a part of your brain and a part of the whole creative process that's supposed to be new and exciting and trying to do something different. So you get this tension between trying to use systems and processes to be consistent and do the same thing again and again and again, or on a regular pattern. But equally, you want to change it up. So what I've been pushing for in the last sort of month or so is consistency. And that's kind of come about in a couple of places. There's obviously been the live streams that I'm doing. And I really appreciate the support that you've given me by popping in and checking those out, either as the VODs afterwards or actually being in the chat in the live stream. But also I've finally got myself to the gym after a couple of years of not doing anything exercise-wise, and having that sort of regular routine of going every couple of days, even if I'm sort of not wanting to, is really helping. So yeah, I tend to be the sort of person who's always looking to try and do something new and trying to be creative and add something that I've not done before to whatever it is that I'm doing. I'll come back to that in a second, Jason. I've just seen your comment. It's very easy to sort of keep thinking along the lines of let's do new, let's do innovative, let's do clever, or to try and do that. And then you just lose all patterns or processes or consistency in whatever it is that you do, because you're trying to reinvent things or reinvent the wheel. And I really have started to think that as a creative, being consistent is perhaps more important than being creative sometimes. Guess what? Inka wants to come in through the airlock. 1 second. Every time. Yeah, Jason Ekmar, you've put hashtag karate in there, and you're dead right. That's something that I've not really talked about that much on stream. I think I mentioned it a couple of streams ago to one or two people when I was doing the 3D modeling. I used to do karate, and I absolutely loved it, and I still do, but just haven't done it for a long time. I actually got to a point where I was training 3 times a week. I did about a decade of constant training, and I got to first Dan black belt, and I also ran a class for some kids and some adults. Had my own dojo, and it's amazing fun. It really is cool. The sort of benefits of being consistent and having a training routine and all that is just amazing. And I let it slip. There's been a lot of things that have sort of caused that. I mean, finding the right instructor and the right kind of club and all that kind of thing was a major part of why I fell off. But there we go. Ekmar says range of motion is going to be more important than ever as we age. Too true, mate. That's something I found is definitely a side effect of the gym training that I have been doing in the last couple of weeks. just that first few sessions of stretching have been so valuable. Not music related, but it's all good. And there's so many things that I learned from martial arts that pass over into artwork and creative work. Just the whole idea of approaching things with a beginner's mindset is huge. Paul, can't live with a routine, drags me down. It depends. For me, it depends on the routine. What is it? Is it just the amount of routine that's the problem, Paul, or is it just having a routine full stop that's drags you down? For me, I like some kind of routine, and then there's the benefits, of course, of if you know what a routine is, it takes less brain bandwidth. So therefore, you've got more free bandwidth to do other things. So for example, when I create the live record or live jams and put those up on YouTube, there's certain parts of the process that I've got as a routine now, like putting the captions and stuff like that over the top and the finished thing, and having everything all set up to record. So that sort of means that I can focus on the music and making the best piece of music that I can at the time, and then I don't have to think about what kind of levels have I got, and what kind of introductory caption am I going to put on? Do I need an end screen? All that kind of stuff. So that kind of routine can be really, really helpful. But yeah, I suppose if your entire schedule is all set for you, then that's not so much fun. Right. Anybody, any questions? Because I must admit, today I haven't really got a huge amount prepared. I thought I'd have a bit of a jam, and I've done some of that. I can obviously do a bit more. I put up a single tune yesterday, day before yesterday. I've lost track. It's all kind of gone a little bit routine like. Paul says it's amount of routine on a regular. I like to take the day as it comes, work for music. Yeah. As you say, if your routine is sort of limiting your options too much, then that's heavy going. You can try a few more of these. Let me see if I can get this fire caption working. The gas one definitely worked. Thrust, joke, and cat, they all work. The fire one, I'm not sure why that's not working. I've probably got a scene in OBS that's not set up correctly. Either that or streamer bot's not working properly. I'll share my screen and then you can have a look at how streamer bot's looking, because then at least you can see what's happening. So here we go. So we've got all these here are the actions that take place when you fire off one of those comments. So redeem, fire. That is the trigger. Let's have a look at the gas one. So the command enabled, yes, gas. That's why. It's because there's no command. That'll be why. Commands. So we want to duplicate that. I thought I could duplicate these. Yeah, I can certainly add this in at some point, even if I don't do it now. Let's try and do it now. Fire. I think it's like this. Let's just check. Yep. That should YouTube message. YouTube message, yeah. Because we're not on Twitch. I'm not doing Twitch. And then we go to actions, fire, and the command is fire. Okay. Somebody have a go at that for me. If you want to type in !fire, let's see what happens when I go back to my chatting screen there. So, Paul, can't live with a routine, drags me down. Have I experimented with samples on the TR-8S? It has really opened it up for you. I have experimented with them. One of the things that holds me back from sort of really using it in that way is the amount of time it takes to prep the samples on the computer. Obviously, I've got Ableton and I've got, what's the other package that I use? I forget the name off the top of my head. Audacity, and I've got some sample packs, so it would be really straightforward to pop them on there. I think it's just having the time and the energy to do it. I've managed to so far create so many sounds that I quite like using the stock resources on the TR-8S that I just haven't bothered yet. But I am really hitting the point where I think a few kick drums will be good. That would certainly liven up the set. Have you found any particular nuances with it, Paul, that make it either good or bad? Because to be honest, I found the process of uploading the samples and then having to either rename them or make sure that they're named correctly in the first place, and then if you want to remove them as well, that's a pain in the neck. You either have to add a whole folder and then take away that whole folder, or if you upload more than one at a time, then you really have to sort of individually take them all off if you want to do that. That I found to be a real pain. So I'm going to try the fire and see if that works again. Does it do anything?
Red alert. Red alert.
Partly worked. Didn't do the rest of it. There should be another overlay. Yeah, there was that. That's supposed to go off, and then there's supposed to be some flames that appear, but that didn't work. Anyway, yeah, that needs a bit of work. Right. I'm going to have another play on the music gear, and then I'm probably going to call it a day for today. So I will join you on the flip side of that little jam, and then we'll go for the rest of the weekend, and hope you have a good one. So yeah, I'll speak to you in a few minutes, and in the meantime, there'll be a bit of music. So I think that's me for today. Thank you for joining, guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll be popping out a video on Sunday if I get the chance, perhaps a bit of a longer live jam. In the meantime, if you wouldn't mind liking the stream, if you did like the stream, that would be awesome. And you can catch me on Buy Me a Coffee if you want to contribute to the stream. That'd be hugely appreciated. The other thing is I've been doing a monthly newsletter, and if you want to sign up for that, you can do that on my website, which is mikegranoff.com. And there's just stuff that goes through my head, things that I've learned, stuff that I want to share with you guys if you're interested. So you can sign up for the newsletter there, free, no obligation, no nothing, just free stuff. So, yep, have a great one, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.